Well, maybe if I was in here, you guys would be interested. So, hey, everyone. Good to see you. I'm a little wet, as you can see, through my shirt from being outside. Was just catching up on the YouTube, and I was watching a video, and it ended, and I flipped over to Stream Team, and it looks like they postponed it a week again. From the Grand Canyon to Vegas. Hey, Randy, good to see you. Steve, Phil, Tritone, Lagrange, Honeystone Farm, good to see you. Man, we are getting a deluge down here of rain. So that's going to bring up a whole new set of issues. Hey, Hope, going forward is... when the rain breaks, we will probably have swarm call after swarm call. Heck, I might be calling somebody to come get swarms because there might be a lot. We're looking at, let's see. It says the rain is supposed to stop soon tonight. That'd be good. But it's showing tomorrow rain. It's supposed to start at midnight and rain all day till 6 p.m. Then from 6 to 10, it's going to be dry, and then it's supposed to start raining a little bit more. But all the rain that is said for the weekend through Tuesday looks like it's passed or going to pass. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. Phil going to do his first grafting tomorrow. Man, you'll do fine. If you get one queen, you're one queen better off than you were. So honestly, I was not planning to go live tonight. I was planning to watch the Stream Team, but we couldn't go 2 nights without a B chat. One night was enough. We went, first time in a year over a year and a quarter since we didn't go live on a Tuesday night. So it was our first night off since March 10th of 2022. There's Mr. Lagrange. Alex.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, going nowhere. I'm sitting.
The rain. I was getting excited about my buckwheat earlier, and then all that rain came, and it's like, did it just wash it all down the bank? Which, who knows? Maybe it lands.
I hope not.
Maybe it lands and spreads out in the ditches, and as long as the county doesn't come and mow it down, we'll be okay, I guess. I don't know. So, how's your bees doing?
I didn't go this week, Father's Day, and then there was rain, and then was pretty much nothing to do except maybe check for swarm cells because I couldn't get into the mating nukes, because they were still on the mating flight, and I didn't want to mess with that. The earliest I can go check on them is Friday.
So you're desperately waiting to see the outcome.
How many queens got mated?
Oh, I'm sure.
Actually, wait until Sunday.
Did you have a pretty good amount of drones everywhere?
Yeah, and I know there's other beekeepers in my area. One of the farmer's kids said that he saw hives nearby. Well, I don't know how close they were, but so they're like last year. I had only one poorly mated queen, and that out of 15. So okay. I should be good.
Yeah, you should be good, man. I think you'll end up being happily surprised. It's always that, what are we going to get? It's like opening the Christmas present, right? To see what you got out of it.
Yeah, and I've been preparing, like, it's Quebec's national holiday on Friday, the 24th. So I'm following Brad's advice. And I'm preparing a bunch of honey bottles to sell at the party the city organized. And my printer crapped out on me, so I had to make black and white labels. I had to improvise, edit the label, and just print out a bunch of black and white
Hey,
labels because
you do what you got to do.
speaking of printers, I looked up your printer.
Yeah, you
And
were saying about it getting clogged up or something.
the way it works is it uses a lot of waste, like it cleans itself often, which generates a lot of waste ink, and it dumps that waste ink in the back basically a sponge. And when the sponge is full, it breaks the printer. So I've
Really?
seen tutorial who just they just take an extra piece of silicone tubing, a tube to tube connector, and they just dump the waste ink into a bottle,
I got
and
you.
it prolongs the life of your printer indefinitely, but it also shows you how much ink it wastes.
Oh, I got you. I didn't look that up. I need to look that up.
I really suggest you do before your sponges saturate.
I just got this printer, so
The research I did says they last about a year or two before the sponges says to your printer you're dead.
that's about right. That's probably they want to sell you a new printer every couple years.
Yeah, no, if like it's a good printer once you remove the the sponge.
It does a pretty good job on the label, so I'm learning more as I do this. Right?
It's an Epson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Look
So
up like Epson waste ink bottle on YouTube. It'll solve like your printer will never break itself that way.
so when I was using my other printer and printing the labels for my honey bottles, they were kind of sometimes not coming out perfect,
Hmm.
right? And then I decided, well, maybe I should read what it says on the label. And if you see, it says, well, it's probably back, feed one sheet at a time, but it's got an arrow on the way that it needs to align. And if you don't put it in there the way that it needs to align, then I think it's just slightly off uh, from the other direction. So these Avery labels work pretty well, especially if you're not making tons and tons and tons of bottles. But that's a nutrition label for the back.
Well, my
And
nutrition label is really simple. It's a like I just went on Google, looked up nutrition value of for honey, then added the info that Canada requires
that's
for
pretty much the
the
same thing I
labeling. That's it. It's a
did for
simple
mine.
rectangular label.
I've got
Yeah,
water drops and
on my
everything.
printer, the red ink got clogged, and trying to clean it out, it just emptied the cartridge, and it got worse, not better.
That's why I
So
went and bought this printer.
yeah, and now
I
you
did
know
the same.
how to make it last. I'm probably gonna buy one of those and like make the modifications straight away. Have the ink done. Like I'd rather like get a lot of waste ink than buy another 200 freaking printer.
Oh, that printer is more than 200. Did you see?
Well,
Here's
depending
the
on the
one I
model,
got.
it's between 200 and 400 here in Canada.
Yeah, so mine was 4. Mine was
Yeah,
the 399
you
US.
might want to mod it so it just doesn't break itself. Because every time, like you hear it, like do a cleaning cycle, it
Mm-hmm.
just dumps ink. It basically forces ink through the jet nozzle, so it doesn't clog, and it sends that waste to the sponge I mentioned earlier.
Charlie spinning honey again. So he said he will be on after, if he can.
Yeah, and I prepared a set of 60 labels for Friday. Hopefully, and I started melting my honey because it was starting to crystallize pretty bad. I
You guys got
hope
that
it's.
fast
I hope it's
crystallizing
enough.
honey?
Sorry, what?
Your honey crystallized fast where you're at too?
No, I haven't. I haven't melted it. It's last year's harvest, and it's getting. One of them is getting pretty pasty, so it crystallizes pretty slow. But it's been a year almost.
I watched Matt's video today too. He made 3 or 4 splits. I saw that. And he but the only thing that worries me is I don't know Matt's area, but I know my area. So I have to make strong splits. And he's up north, right? He's in Minnesota, which is not far from the Canadian border. So I would assume that it's he would
Very
have,
cold in winter.
yeah, very cold winters. So he needs to make those splits to where they are strong enough going into winter. Otherwise, he's in the same cycle I was. Weak split, not strong enough for winter. Colony dies. Make a split in the spring. Let it try to grow. Not strong enough in winter. Dies. You just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. So now I'm at the point to where I've got bees like hanging out on the front of all my colonies at night, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're maybe a little too strong. I don't know.
Yeah, you might want to split. All right, worst case, make nukes, sell them if you don't have the gear.
Yeah, the problem is we've got rain, right? So the rain is what I'm worried about because they don't wait, right? So as soon as the rain's done, the next morning, up in the trees, like immediately. Matt he's got engraving with Matt as his laser channel, and is it homesteading with Matt or Matt and Sarah homesteading? Let me see if I can find it in my stuff here. Would have been earlier this morning. Oh, it would have been way back. So, what do you think about this? People paying $250,000 to go on the type.
I learned about it like 30 minutes ago, and
the makeshift submersible that's run by a
yeah,
PS
like keyword here, makeshift.
by
You got what you paid for.
a PlayStation controller, right? Runs the whole thing.
That's normal. Military. I know the military uses
But I would
game
trust it a
controllers
little
for.
bit more if it was
Listen,
a military thing.
wired game controllers, not wireless.
Yeah,
Imagine your battery's dying when you're at that.
well
those,
now they're saying, and having been in the Navy, now they're saying that the people they can hear some banging, right? And it was a Canadian plane that picked it up, right?
good.
So
I hope I find them.
I hope
But
they do too.
still,
But I think that the time frame that it takes to get the equipment out there,
I still hope they find them. Like they don't deserve to die, but they
right?
in a more how can I say this?
So basically, suffocate to death
Well, yeah,
or freeze.
they kind of look like they kind of went. I don't know how to say this in English, but they were looking for it in a way.
Right.
A makeshift sub going that deep. Oof.
It's interesting. I mean, I guess they got. I mean, $250,000 a person. So they got $1 million to go down there, and the company, and yeah, they had a makeshift bathroom on it. They actually had like one of them urine bottles that you would get when you're in the hospital, and they had some kind of composting toilet in there. But yeah, so it's very interesting. But my thought was, unless they totally lost power, why would you not have some kind of portable speaker that would start broadcasting?
A beacon that you detach and it floats up. There you go. Like it records your coordinates and just floats up.
iPhones have GPS in them.
Yeah, but they're underwater. So yeah, once it surfaces like a broadcast signal, GPS coordinates, it can't be that expensive to make a beacon that can sustain those kind of depths.
Yeah, I mean, even if they had a phone,
they can't.
And they had no, but they could use their phone to Bluetooth to a speaker that played music that those helicopters could pick up from underneath the water.
That makes sense.
Or something.
Basically,
hey,
loudspeaker
we're
because
here.
water conducts sounds
just,
very much better than air.
Yeah, subs version of a black box with GPS, something. I mean, you're going 2.5 miles under the water, right? It's like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I figure they've been down there. I guess by this time tomorrow, they'll know.
Yeah, they're gonna run out of air if they don't get rescued.
Yeah, the millions of tax dollars being used to save these rich guys. That's true. Millions and millions. And Chris says he's got 2 inches of water in his yard. You guys saw my drainage just was flooded, and from people's junk when they throw it out in the yard when they drive by through the window. But yeah, it was supposed to be like a 3-hour tour. I think this whole thing was going to be 8. Just has a visit from Brad and James. I saw Brad and James were live last night. When I actually didn't watch it though. I will say that, but I did see the notification that they went live. Last night I took off. I went laid down. That was it. Done.
Well, the face Brad had when those hives came in, it was priceless.
And is that what hives? Is that where James took those hives to Brad's?
He went from Alberta through like all the way to Brad's place, across like one province and a half almost.
Oh, I thought he got it. I thought somebody else was getting them. I didn't know who was buying them. Let me see. Mark. Why don't I see Mark? Oh, there it is. I'll hold your head underwater for a lot less money. Guys, I see so many memes on Facebook now. We've got a lake here called Lake Murray. And you know the natural gas or propane tanks that got the bubble on top of them? They said, I'll take you to the bottom of Lake Murray for $2,500, you know, in a propane tank. So it's so yeah, it's kind of a thing. It's not funny because I'm 99% sure. I'll give them the 1% chance. But the thing is, they haven't even located it yet. And then once they locate it, do they even have a plan for how they're going to bring it up? Right. So that's the whole.
My guess is they, like, as soon as they learned that, they would bring the equipment to lift the thing. It's not that big.
No, it's not very big, but the thing that they're using to go down there is not much bigger than that, right? So really all they got to do is the U.S. Navy one, I think, will be tethered. So what they'll do is they'll hook one to the other and then pull them both up, I guess will be the plan.
Or attach inflatable balloons.
But
that's dangerous because of the bends. Unless they have decompression chambers on the rescue ships, they might have to risk the crew undergoing the bends.
Yeah, it's true.
Save them.
Let me see. I saw Larimore had a video out today with going to find a cow in the swamp. I don't know how old the footage was, but I saw it. But I went and picked up the bees from the hotel. So that is a lost cause. The hotel doesn't want to pay to remove them. They just
they'll deal with the sticky mess.
They basically entombed them. So the bees that I got are all the bees that are coming out of there. The rest of them are going to get closed in. So what can you do? I can't just go start drilling on their property and,
Not without permission.
Yeah, it's so is what it is. We got some bees. I just put them on top of another colony. As soon as it dries out a little bit, I'll just go pop them open and maybe they'll come back to that position and land in the hive that they're sitting on. So that's the thing. That's the whole thing. Well, the link is posted in the chat, guys.
Come on in.
Wants to come join us. Yeah, come on in. We're just hanging out. Last minute impromptu live when I saw the stream team had postponed till next week. But yeah, I need to get in my bees. I just can't get in them because of all the rain. But it looks
Yeah,
like it's going to dry out sooner than it was supposed to, so that's good.
it kind of feels weird not going to my bees. It's like it wasn't really needed. It's like the first time in 3 years I skip a week. It's strange, but family comes first. It was Father's Day. I wanted to see family, so
It was
like all.
probably what it felt like last night for all you guys not having a live stream to go to. So that was the like we got in the back room, like, we were sitting in the back, not live like this, and Lee's like, man, I feel like I'm gonna get sick. And I'm like, well, we don't have to go live, man. I mean, there's no rule that we have to go live. And
Yeah,
I didn't really feel like doing it last night. I was kind of
nobody's gonna be mad at you for missing one stream in a year, especially when it's justified like that.
and it's okay, Bob. They found me wandering around in town and brought me back home. Blaine. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much to talk about. I mean, I've got to pull honey. I can't pull honey in the rain, so that's the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start pulling it. I'm still having withdrawals, Randy said.
Thing I'm worried about is, am I gonna have enough supers for the basswood flow, because it rained early this week and they were in bloom.
Right.
I gave each hive two supers, two undrawn supers. Some of them, like my strongest hive, got a deep, and once that's extracted, I'm gonna use it to shift it to
I'm
my
kind of,
mating mix.
I've got like two.
But I'm expecting like 25 5 gallons buckets at least. At least.
I need to extract, and I need to give them frames back, but I only need to give them deep frames back. I'm not going to give them mediums this year. I'm going to try to feed them up and let them store that. And plus, I might have buckwheat if it didn't all wash away a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of have to use mediums. Unfortunately, I'd rather use deeps so all the gear is compatible, or the same size, I should say. But having a tiny car and only my arms to lift this stuff, I'm gonna have to do what Richard Noel does and use mediums. It's just too heavy otherwise.
Charlie uses mediums. The thing is, the only thing
Well,
with using mediums is you have to
you
use
have to,
more boxes, more frames,
yeah.
which means more money, right? So
My brood chambers are deeps. What I do is in spring is whenever I'm currently doubling every year. I don't know if how long I'll keep this up, but what I do is I just buy the same numbers of deeps as I have hives, let them lay it up,
right,
then just give a queen to each of those
brew boxes.
boxes. Like maximize the amount of bees I can get with the minimum amount of gear. It's just I have to use medium. It's too heavy otherwise.
Well, those bees have not been in that column very long. I mean, they just moved in within the last couple days, so they might have a little bit of comb in there. But considering I got most of the foragers out, I think that if they got something in that column, it shouldn't be
What you
bad.
need to do if you need more foragers is do like I don't know if you've seen that video. It's Randy 628 Dirt Rooster. He went to the leftovers of a commercial beekeeper, and he just dropped a swarm on the back of his pickup, and it filled at least a dozen hives in one shot. And that video was insane. So I
I
don't know if you have
carry
something like
4
that.
full supers over my head at a time, but I hear some folks like to use a wagon. Blaine, the comedian. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to end up with, but I'm going to start pulling those down. Today is the solstice, the longest day of the year for us. So,
Well, for everyone.
yeah, for everyone. But it's funny because in like James, right? He just now starts his honey flow.
Same for me.
So it's I find that interesting that it's after the summer solstice you guys start getting your crop, and ours is all before. No, I didn't get that queen. There's no no way. I got some bees. They didn't want me to like do any deconstruction on their hotel there, because I went back out there this morning and I told them, I said, well, I'll be back tonight to pick the box of bees up that's there, but um but to get them all out of there we need to cut. And he's like, nope. So
And nothing you can do.
nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I know. So we just leave them the way it is. I mean, luckily it was raining when I went back over there. There was about 2 bees flying around the post. The rest of them, I put my ear to the box and could hear them buzzing around in there. So, if anything, they won't stay in the box. I'll just open it up and maybe they'll mix with one of my other colonies and call it a day.
Or you can give them a queen.
I don't have one. I'm not gonna. I mean, on a handful of bees, I'm not gonna risk
Yeah.
a good queen on that, right?
I assume you had more than a handful.
No, I don't know how many's in there. You guys saw how many was flying, but it looks like a lot more when they're flying, right? And then when they cluster up, it's like, oh, it's just a little bit. So we'll know more tomorrow, I guess. Let's see if we got any. I got too many tabs open. All right, cool. Close one down. But yeah, it's it's just one of those times of year where everybody down here is starting to pull that honey off. But our weather is still, it's 69 degrees right now. That's like unheard of this time of year. So it's just been so mild.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool here as well. It's 20, like it got up to 27 C. It's, I assume, close to 90 Fahrenheit. And that's kind of, well, not low, but lower than average for this time of year.
Michael, I might have some cells. I just can't check my hives to find them. It's been, Saturday was a week since I checked the colonies. And so it's almost been 2 weeks. I skipped a week too. I did check 2 hives, but other than that, skip, right? Well, let me see if see, Lee's not back here to be bannering. Hold on. I figured it out, I think. Save that. And there you go. Happy birthday, Blaine. They don't know when or if the vision will return. I saw your video earlier. And Randy sold another nuke. Cool. That's enough. Now I'm going to let it go the rest of the stream. I only know how to put it up. I don't know how to take it back down. Lee's not around here. I figure it might take you a minute. You know, you're walking around downtown. They might have to bring you back home before you can see it. Let me see. Oh, wrong thing here. There you go. There you go, Blaine. I'll make you happy for your birthday. I watched he was on Charlie's stream one time. What's his name? Chuck. He had a video come out that was using thymol. He was basically making thymol mixture to add to his sugar syrup. And he says when he adds it to his sugar syrup, it doesn't ferment. No mold or anything grows in it. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Well, a lot of essential oils can do that. It's pretty nasty stuff. Now, bees are somewhat resistant to it, like they're resistant to peroxide. They use it as a sterilizing agent for their honey.
Let me see if I can find his channel. His name is Chuck. He was on Charlie's channel one time. I think it's Chuck's Honeybees. Let me take a peep over there. Yep, Chuck's Honeybees, Jacksonville, Florida, Zone 9A. He's got on there. And maybe it might have been an old video, but it's in there because I just saw it today. It just popped up in the feed. So you might have to look for the video. You know, they kind of do that where it just pops in every now and again. And so we'll find out. Yeah, so he takes a vinegar jar and he makes about half of it at a time. He says, I think he said it was, don't quote me, you watch his video, but I believe it was 2 teaspoons to 5 gallons of syrup. Pretty sure that's what it was. So take a look at that and see if that's oh, well, I didn't. Who knew? So looks like Bruce's Bees decided to go live tonight with Cayman. So Cayman and Bruce are on. I did not know. Did not get that memo. It might have been a spontaneous one too, where he just called Cayman up, was like, "Hey, let's go live."
Yeah, probably because they canceled their home stream.
Yeah, I was pumped up for it because we missed last week, right? They missed last week with it, so I thought for sure they were going tonight. And when pretty sure that Brian popped in one of the chats the other night and said they would be going last night. But we ain't got much to talk about tonight. Where is everybody? Everybody's not coming in like they normally do and hanging out. I'm gonna assume you're right, DC. I have to go to my YouTube channel and see if I can. Where's it at? Go back to my channel. Then I have to click the link that you posted. And wait. Yep, that's the one. Well, it wasn't hummingbird food that he was doing, but that might be the video. No, that looks. Well, it looks like the setup that he was doing, but he made a different video. That's not the same video. He took it out of some. It's the guy though. That is the channel. Let's see, videos. He, it's how to make thymolized syrup from April 7th, 2023, 2 months ago. But I just saw it today. Popped through my feed. It's a 13-minute video, 13 and a half minutes. So he did a hummingbird feed, but he also did one for the syrup. It was actually literally the next video in the feed from the one you shared. One row down. Let me see if I can get a link for it and share the link. Let's see. That's the link I got, guys, for that video. So we got 38 watching, and Bruce's Bees has got 118. We're losing. We're losing the battle. The YouTube.
Well, I'm not a big beekeeping channel. And I think Bruce is much more popular. And Cameron Reynolds is kind of up there compared to us.
Yeah, it's on Bruce's channel, but let me see. Licensed beekeeping supplies. That looks like our extractor. It's a short. Sure does. They got it bolted down to the pallet still. But looks like a different controller on it, but it's the red like ours. And see if Charlie says he's still extracting honey. I'm surprised. I thought he was done already. He said he didn't get that much of a flow. Let's see. Supposed to be a high of 80 tomorrow. 80% chance of rain and a high of 80. 80 tomorrow. Here. I like the smaller chats. Why, thank you. I think that's a positive. It sounds like a positive.
Well, it kind of is, because big beekeeping channels, they usually, or any big channels, they usually can't keep up.
Well, not only that, but you usually don't get any questions answered.
That's what I mean.
So it's
that's why I like this stream. I can actually speak to you. You actually invite people in. I think somebody like Cameron Reynolds could not afford to have an open link like that.
Well, the other thing is, but the funny thing is, some nights we have a ton of people, and some nights it's like me and you, or me and somebody else, or you know what I mean? Sometimes we get a bunch, and sometimes we don't get any. But is what it is. But we still talk to the chat. See, and just like that, Mark answered the call. Man, where you at today with the sunlight?
I'm sitting in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
The man, that's where that beekeeping supply place is, right?
Isabees.
Which one?
Isabees.
No, gosh. There's so many of them. What's the name of this one that I'm talking about? I think, was it DC or somebody was sharing it? Sunny Bee? No, not Sunny Bee. That was James.
That's in Canada.
Something like that. Was it Royal Bee or something? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember what the name of it is. Are you done with your queen rearing this year now?
Well, no, I put a round of grafts in yesterday.
Oh.
And then I'm going to do 2 more probably this coming Tuesday.
Golden Bee, that's it. Ben Schmidt.
Golden Bee.
Thanks, Ben.
That's in Sedalia.
The
so one that's got the boxes cheap.
Yeah.
That's in Sedalia, right outside of Sedalia.
Well, supposedly, if I order from them, they will deliver to Spartanburg, which is a couple hours away from me, for free.
That might be worth it.
Well, if the prices are decent enough, wholesale honey bulk organic. Let me see.
Yeah. Here in St. Louis, they got Isabees. I've bought a lot of stuff from them over the years.
Bees and hives. They got a nice looking website. If this is the one. Oh, they're out of stock on deep boxes. Nope, that's deep. 9 and 5/8. Deep. Migratory pine bottom. They're out of stock on everything. They sold it all out.
At Golden Bee.
Yep.
Yeah, look up Isabees. They got a pretty good business here.
Is it ISABEE?
Isabees.
Instagram, isabee.com.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually go in there and buy from Jane. She's a sweetheart.
They're taking they're in Fenton. Let me
They're
see.
what?
Fenton, Missouri.
Yeah, that's a suburb of St. Louis.
It says they got deep hive body with frames for $36.90. That's not too bad if you're getting 10 deep, 10 deep frames and for $37, 10 frames and the box.
Right.
So, not terrible.
That's a pretty good price.
The box they got it just for the box is $22.
My phone's going dead. I can't find my charger.
So they have the cypress is out of stock. They have pine, cypress, and you can buy plywood. Well, pine nuke box, $24. That costs the same as a deep. It costs more than a deep 10 framer.
Yeah, but is that the whole setup or just the box?
It just says, okay, nuke boxes. I guess that's complete, maybe.
Yeah.
Queen excluder, medium nuke box, deep nuke box.
I've bought some cypress nuke boxes from them, like the whole setup,
Right.
and I really like them. They've lasted a long time.
Let me see. Acorn double. That's got to be foundation. Yeah, foundation. $2 for a sheet of foundation. $1.88 for a frame. So $3.88.
That's not cheap.
Y'all got me wanting to buy wood frames and put them together now.
That's what I do. I bought wood frames and I just bought the foundation and rolled it myself and slapped it in.
Yeah, I'd rather use those as well, but they're much more expensive than full plastic ones.
They don't even sell full plastic ones there.
The plastic frames are heavier. I noticed that.
It's more expensive. Wood frames are more expensive than full plastic ones here.
Oh yeah, here too.
I
But
prefer the wood.
I'm talking about the wood with the plastic foundation are heavy.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Excuse me. No, the frames don't have foundation. Mark, you gotta add it for $2. $2.
Yeah. I bought 100. I think it was $164 for 100
of them.
Foundation. Yeah.
What'd you get? Acorn, or you got Man Lake?
I got the Man Lake, the yellow. I ordered the black, but they sent me the yellow.
So that's $2.80 a frame. Then by the time you buy the frame, if you buy them in 100 for $129, and then how much was the foundation?
164 plus tax. I think it wound up being like 188, something like that.
188. So it's $1.88 and $1.29. So that's $3.20 a frame.
And they're what? Plastic, $3.
Well, the last plastic frames I bought were $3.20 a piece. Now, if I ordered them directly from Peerco, I could get a better deal, but then I got to pay shipping. So is it really a better deal by the time you pay shipping? Might save a little bit, you know,
or none at all, and you get a whole lot more work.
Yep.
I'm going to put together a bunch of mediums for next year. And I'm looking at going back to wax on them because they're so much easier. You can get 25 pounds for 200. So there's 275 pieces in there. So that's 275 frames. I forget what the price was. $269, I think.
Yes, but the question is it worth the time to build them? Like, does the money you save from buying those come? Could the work you put in play somewhere else bring you more money? That's the question?
Well, I'll put them together in the winter when I ain't doing nothing else.
Okay.
You know, fire up the wood stove and go out there in the man cave.
Yeah, it's not bad. But my thing was when I started, I was buying the frames and then I was stringing the fishing line in them, right?
Yeah.
And I was taking the top wedge and breaking it off and putting it in the slot and then putting wax on it. And they would draw it out. But then you get the blowouts in the extractor and everything else, especially if you're forgetting you crank the extractor up too high.
I don't know. It's just cheaper, seems like, to go with the wax, but plastic's so much more convenient.
It is and it isn't. It's more convenient putting them in the hive. However, what I'm starting to gather is all the equipment, like my uncapper, runs much better with wood than it does with the plastic.
Yeah, I've got all wood frames. I don't have any plastic frames.
I started, I think year before last, I started buying. I was doing wood with fishing line. Then I was like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to string any more of these up with fishing line. And then I was starting to get the acorn inserts, and I was like, well, if I'm buying acorn inserts, why don't I just buy the whole acorn frame and save some money? And that's how that started. And then I did like that they had a little extra room in the box.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff, like the acorn plastic frames on my uncapper, they don't like to sit on that little nub that sticks out on the chain. So that was a bit of an issue.
Have you looked at that motor that goes on that? Have you looked into it?
I know they don't carry it at I didn't see it on the license site in Europe, which means if they don't have it in Europe, they don't have it, they can't get it at Better Be. And then but they do have a different motor that they use for extractors, like to take a manual extractor and mount the motor on it, which might work, but the only way to find out is to push out one of those what do they call a ring, it's like a dowel, but it's a metal tube that they hammer it in one side. And you know what I'm talking about? Those they're like a press thing. And if I pull that out or knock that out, then I may not be able to get the doggone handle back on if I tear it apart. So I'm not willing to risk the $2,500 on trying to take it apart.
Can it be drilled and tapped or anything like that where you can put a sprocket on it?
Oh, I'm sure it could. I mean, it's just got a handle attached to a rod that comes out. I'm sure it could be modified. Let me see. Roll pin. There you go. A container from Alibaba, right? And just have them all sent over. That's probably where everybody else is buying it from. Yeah, you guys, when you look at the website, that's not the price I get. I mean, I can get them cheaper, but the thing is, are they $351 by the time I pay to get them shipped from California out here? You know, a lot of these sites say free shipping over a certain dollar amount. That's for retail customers. If you're buying on a wholesale level, they'll give you a better price on the product, but then you got to pay to have it shipped out, right? So that's been my whole struggle this year. And unfortunately, there's only one B store around here. So either I go to that B store who don't have nothing when I need it, or I go up to North Carolina, drive 4 hours each way to pick something up, you know?
Or you open your own B store.
Yeah, that's...
Do you remember a month ago I told you I had boxes back ordered from Man Lake? I told you I ordered 10. They just come in today. My wife called me today, said they come in today.
But don't they have
a month?
For some reason, I was thinking they had a thing on Man Lake where, and maybe I'm smoking something. Somebody had them. It might have been Better Be that had the like you could buy box, but you had to buy them like a pallet, you know. And they were cheaper to buy them by the pallet. But then I know Better Be, they're going to charge me $500. So even if I got them for $14, $15, and it was 100 boxes, and then I got to pay $500 to ship, well, now those boxes are $20 a piece still, you know, which is still last year's prices. But it's like,
I don't mind buying a pallet of boxes if they're treated or wax dipped. I'm not going to buy 100 that I got to go through all that process. If I can get them treated, you know, like them treated lids we've been buying, I like them. They last if you put a good coat of paint on them, you know. But they're treated, and you can't hardly get the boxes treated. They only do it a certain time of year, and you can only get like if you get 50 of them, you know, and they're high. You pay a lot for it, but they last.
Let me see. There it is. Better Be. Let me see. I think they had it on Buzz and Bargains, which they change that all the time. Let's see.
But see, they're put together, and you don't know if they use glue on them or screws or staples or what.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of nukes, pre-made wooden nukes, and they were just nailed together. So I just pried them all apart one by one, added glue, and replaced the nails by screws.
Yep.
And then I waxed them.
And that's a lot of work.
So
I only had 13 at least.
Better Be has deep economy boxes. For a pallet of them is $1,450. Let's see what that entails. How many boxes?
That's going to be about 700 boxes, 600 and something.
I bet you they are only selling about 100 at a time. It doesn't even say how many comes on there. Unassembled. 100 boxes per pallet. So that's $14.50 a box. But then you got to get them shipped, right? So,
well, I mean, if I can go by and pick them up, if they're like at Kelly's or somewhere close, you know, where I can.
So that's 100 boxes, and they got medium supers, 100 medium supers for $1,150. So, which again, it's not a terrible price. I guess it's 100. Let me see if that's 100 as well.
Is that just regular pine supers?
Mm-hmm.
And they're put together?
Nope. Unassembled boxes. 100 of them. $11.50 a box.
Well, the last ones I bought, I think they weren't but like $14.
Yeah, so if you
Medium.
could get the pallet shipped for $300, then you're looking at $14 a box, right?
Right, right.
So again, now if this was a business, if I was selling boxes, now I'm buying them at 14. What do I have to sell them for to make a profit?
Right.
You can't sell them for $15. You know
You
what I
can't
mean?
beat their price.
Right.
You know,
But not everybody's gonna buy 100 boxes at a time, right? That would
no, most
better be
people's gonna buy a pack of 5 or maybe 10.
that better be. You got to look at their buzz and bargains that's on the far right. So most markups are about 30%. So 30%. I mean, if you're buying them for $14 a box, that's what 25% would be $350 a box more. You'd be selling them for $17.50. So my thing is, if I could sell them for $17.50, why are all these other places selling them for $27 and $25 a piece? Right? They're just bashing your brain in every time you go to buy bee boxes or any equipment.
Yeah, a wax deep sells for $40. Okay, Canadian, but $40 for one waxed box is way too much.
And they've got that same bargain box with frames for $57. So 10 frames and the box, $57. And they've got foundation. So
it's cheaper to buy the box separate and then put it together, glue it. That way you know it's put together right. Build your wood frames, and then whatever you're going to use for foundation, that's your choice. But that's the cheapest way to do it, I think.
That would be the. How would that be if I was like, I want 100 of these? Well, I wouldn't order them from them just because I already know the shipping. I could have bought I could have bought the honey sump for what I've paid in shipping to get it shipped.
Right.
I could have had a nice weekend in New York with my wife going to pick up my stuff.
Well, us truck drivers have to make a living too, you know.
Yeah, but I don't need to pay your whole check every time I order equipment.
That's because so many people's got their irons in the fire, right?
Man, that's
the broker got to make his, and your boss has got to make his. And
worst case, you could always buy yourself a sawmill and mill your own planks.
Yeah, that Jason at Bohemia Bees has one that cuts the joints in it, but I think it's by the time you buy the lumber and the time it takes you to cut the boxes, I think that you're cheaper just to buy it.
You really are, I think.
A lot of work.
Now, maybe over time, if you were selling them, reselling them, and not just using them for yourself.
I could make medium boxes. I can get the lumber for that, but the deep ones, finding good lumber that's straight, not wavy and all, that's tough. You're going to pay a good dollar for it.
And then you buy your lumber and it has ring shake and it's separating at the core. Nah.
Well, Bob, I'm about to lose you, buddy. I'm at 4%, so I'm gonna get off here and charge, and I'll be back.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Later, buddy.
Later.
But let me see. Pretty fast for a 2-time chatter. Do what? Digital refractometer. Nice.
Yeah, sounds like a pointless. Like you don't need digital for a refractometer. You can just buy one that's just a standard one that will almost never break, never need a battery changing.
He got it as a birthday present.
Oh, that's a nice birthday present, but I still think it's a useless gadget compared to the analog one. In my opinion, you feel free to
I
feel
think
different.
Charlie's going to leave us hanging tonight.
He's got single brood management.
He's doing single honey management, harvesting more honey.
Well, I like single brood management. It saves on gear. I save 1 box per hive, and it helps a lot. That's what I did for this year instead of last year. Like the last 3 years, I was double brood trimmer, and then I realized I could just use those to just make my splits and buy half the amount of boxes. So that's what I did, and so far it's working very well.
Let's see. Have you ever used Megabee?
Me? No, I never even heard of it.
It's a pollen sub.
I've always used
Ultra Bee.
Ultra B. Yes, actually, I bought one 55-pound bag of Ultra B when I started, and I still have almost 4 gallons left.
Really?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to need to buy more until next year.
You're not a big pollen sub user then.
Well, I only had 6 hive on my first year, and I lost them by fall. Second year, I had 4 hive in the spring and 5 in the fall.
Right.
Last year, I had 30 in the spring and 15 in the fall. Now my numbers are starting to get up. Counting my nukes, I'm at 34 hives. So I next year, I will need to buy more.
My cat just sat down next to me and just looking out in the hallway. Like, who's coming for me? Fat Puss, what are you doing? Come on. You want to see the people? Oh, want to see the people? See the people?
That's one fat cat.
Now it's going to claw the crap out of me, probably. But she comes and hangs out with me in the office. Right. Now she just got her head tucked in my arm here. Aster and goldenrod have strong smell. It is a fat cat. It's a fat cat, but I'm its human. I am its human for sure. Yeah, she's pretty happy as long as she's got food. Right, as long as you got food. And usually when I'm done petting its head, if I stop, it'll reach up with its claw like this, like, hey, fat man, pet me. Watch.
I demand more petting.
Oh, you're just gonna claw me and then lay on me? You're not gonna show what I just bragged on you about? Nope. Aster smells like smelly socks. So I'm wondering how much of that buckwheat washed down the drainage today. Probably a lot.
How much was on the clay?
Well, I bought 50 pounds of it, and that's what I had spread. And after 2 days, it had started sprouting. But it'd rain for a little while, then it would stop. Then it'd rain for a little while and stop. Today, it just unleashed and came out. And we had an earthquake here today. So, right, earthquake cat. So Gambler is the best. Gamber. That's where we order from. Of course, he says you don't need 361 bottles.
Yeah, I sent an email to James asking him to send me the contacts for his glassware company.
Right.
Because buying freaking mason jars is crazy. It's like 13 or 14 bucks for 12 bottles.
I found, who was it? Oh, we got this company called Ollie's. It's like a surplus store. And I found they had pint jars at Ollie's. Michael, if you have an Ollie's, it's $8 and some change for a dozen pint jars. Okay, I'll stop. What? Cat looking at me like I'm crazy. But the here comes the claw to the face. Like, hey, pet me. See? Trying to get my attention. Pet me.
I am your master. Pet me.
No, Ollie's, not. It's called Ollie's. Ollies. Ollie's. Yeah, they had a pallet. I've said I should have went in there and said, "Can you guys load this pallet in the back of my truck?" Well, how many do you want? No, the whole pallet. I want the whole pallet. $8. I want to say it was $8.69 for a dozen pint jars.
That's a good price.
See the cat? Let me see. I'll see if I can find a link for Ollie's for you. Ollie's Bargain Outlet.us. Store locator. Let me zoom out the United States map. Are they only here? Maybe they're only here. Search state. Oh, they got them a few places. They got them in Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado. Oh, or maybe that's just all the states that they just have listed. Let's see Texas. Search Texas. Or not. What, cat? I've got 5 of them in my state here. Let me see. Set as my home Ollie's. I thought it was like all over the place. Great deals. Search. Pint jars. Search. Of course, it's not going to show it. I was just in there yesterday. Basically, it's a surplus store. They've got electric lawnmowers for $99.99. Wow, it's a pretty good flyer. But yeah, they'll probably be out of those things next time. If you got an Ollie's, they sell pretty cheap. Store locator. They got to have more. It's got to be more than just here in South Carolina. But I guess it could be only in South Carolina. Doesn't look like they have any in Florence. But this thing looks like the only place they have them is around here. So I don't know. I thought it was like a national chain thing, but I could be wrong. All right. Well, I guess cat. I guess they don't have it anywhere else. Ollie's good stuff cheap, it says. Hey, Keith. See, Keith hit his 1,000. Let me see. Oh, you have them in Indy too? Okay, so you might just have to search Ollie's website and see if you can find one near you. So, yeah, they have pint jars here. They had a pallet of them. I want to say it was Pure is what it was called. It wasn't it was not a it wasn't like mason jar. It was, yeah, they're $8 and some change. Look, as soon as you stop scratching, she's gonna be like, come on, big guy. You're just laying down. You're just gonna lay down. Literally takes my whole lap up. Yeah, I mean the pint jars are cheap. My Dollar General was $10 for a dozen, and if they were, where's my calculator here? Calculator, $8.69 divided by 12 is 72 cents a piece. Yeah, I know. That's probably it. I just spread buckwheat around the whole neighborhood probably. And then you know what's going to happen as soon as it starts flowering? City's going to come through and mow it all down. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, my subs did the same thing. I've hit 2,490 like 5 times, and it just keeps going backwards. I'm at, let me refresh. It was 2,488 now. Yeah, 2,488.
I've been at 303 and 304. Like it keeps bouncing up and down. So you're way ahead of me. Stop complaining.
I'm not complaining, but I've also had a YouTube channel for a number of years. But
so do I. I started in 2020 and I'm
really?
at 300 subs.
I started in like 2012. But I've changed genre, niches, if you will. All right, Cat, you gotta go. Now that I've got every fur known to man on me. But we'll get there. We'll get there. The live, I just got to start making more actual videos, and then maybe it'll happen. It'll be hard to see though because I'll be doing them all at night because I work during the day, right? So, or on the weekend. That's the only time. I got 95. That's more than I deserve. That's funny. The funny thing is, it says I've gained 7 subs in the last 28 days. Only 7. It's every beekeeper. Just trying to see if we got any more Titanic news there. Nope, no new Titanic news.
I really do hope they find them. Like nobody deserves this, even if they kind of were looking for it.
Yeah, I hope they find them too. I mean, but it took them 73 years to find the Titanic, and the Titanic is huge.
Yeah, but the Titanic is probably not making noise. Like you said earlier, they were hearing, like they were hearing banging, like metal on metal. So if they can keep this up, they have a chance.
Right.
Like I'm really hoping they find them.
Yeah, that was one, Paul. That was one sub for every night last week, but that was over the last 28 days. There's the Fred Dunn did a everything BVAC video today. Let's see. Gwen Grufford put out a video today. No, 3 days ago. Sorry. And that's pretty much all I'm seeing for videos. So I'm going to go to about 10 o'clock, guys. So that's about what we got over here, about another 28 minutes. And see what we got. Doing good, man. Just trying to stay dry. It's been wet and raining. It is. Well, I don't mind doing the videos. It's not the videos, but it's once you get the video, then you have, unless you're recording on your phone, you have to take that video footage off of your GoPro, Then you got to download it to your computer. Then you got to edit it. Then you got to upload it. And then it's got to process through YouTube. And so it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
I'm usually done editing a video in 45 minutes. I'm not a very fancy YouTuber like, say, Vino Fun that does insanely high video production quality. No, I just make, as long as it makes sense, I'm good with it. I don't like putting too much time on editing.
I'm not taking over anybody's night. It's only their night when they use it. If they don't use it, then it's free game. Last night we didn't go live because Lee wasn't feeling well, and I was kind of tired, so I didn't feel like going. So we didn't. There's Spanky. Hey, Spanky.
Well, who's claiming you're taking somebody else's night?
Oh, there's Spanky.
No, that's what Paul said, was asking whose night I was taking.
Well, nobody
Street.
owns the nights.
Yeah.
You know, we help each other out. You know, the ocean raises all ships' tides.
That is true. Spanky and I were on the phone for quite a while last night, looking at land properties all over the place. He sent me another property today. It's $120,000 for 5 acres with a house on it. So, but it's not a very attractive house, and there was no pictures of the inside of the house, which is dead warning for you right there, because you're going to go in and it'll be 1937 home, and it'll look like it was built in 1915 or something. It's probably still got a hand crank pump on the faucet. Yeah, Mike Berry does a good job putting videos together. A lot of those guys take a lot of time editing their video, and the only reason I think that is because a lot of times Mike Berry's really good about doing it, but when he does a video and it releases, he'll say, "Today is," and then he'll give the date. And usually it's about 2 weeks after he filmed a video that it's coming out, right? So it means he's editing a little bit at a time. And you know, I try to, because I'm doing mine more for, no offense, guys, more for me, so I can look back on what I was doing June 21st of 2022, and, you know, figure it out.
Well, I do that as well. It's not on purpose, but once I realized, hey, last year, when did the bees start to need food? So I was able to like determine, oh, by then they were already done with the pollen sub. So I gave them food 2-3 weeks earlier this year.
But it makes it hard to, if you're doing videos, if you're putting those videos out a couple weeks after you filmed them, it becomes a little bit harder to track. Otherwise, you're going to say, oh, that was 2 weeks before or something.
I always try to put them like within the following week.
And
I date all my videos at the beginning. It's a habit I started right from the beginning.
oh, Spanky, by the way, new streak, 1 day late to work.
It begins again.
It begins again. We got a new streak. I was 1 day on time, 1 day late.
It was all that house talk.
Yep. Trying to find a property. And I do have a realtor that's sending me stuff, but some of the stuff is like, some of it's
meth
not,
house.
You know. She brings me cake. Might be time to end. We got strawberry cake.
Mm-mm.
So yes, I will eat in front of you guys. Apologize. Not really. I'm not really.
No, I don't apologize for that. That looks too good to apologize.
It is good. Strawberry cake, strawberry whipped cream ice cream, or sorry, whipped cream icing, and strawberries and gelatin. Very good.
So all your buckwheat washed away?
Appears so. If I would have had an arc, it would have flowed away too.
You sure it's not just under the water?
It could be. I did get the water flowing after I got some trash out of there from people throwing trash in the ditches. But it was we'll know tomorrow when I go back out there and look. Might give it a couple days though. See what sprouts up, where it sprouts up, Oh, dropped it. Food abuse. Yeah, I'm not a big editor either. I'm not worried about it. The amount of money you make on YouTube is I've come to the resolution I'm never going to make the money Cayman does with YouTube or Certified Master Beekeeper or any of those guys. So I just do me. That's it. Just do me. So I appreciate everybody watching, but I'm not worried about it. That's why the monetization is pitiful. First of all, first part of monetization is if you even if you get some advertising revenue, if it's not over $100, you can't get it. It's not going to come out. So you got to have sometimes it's months of views before you get a payout. Let me see. Now, I'm lucky. I've got a lot of people that do subscribe to the channel, which gives me a few bucks on that. I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I got some that have been subscribers for quite a while. And but as far as money from watching videos, not too much. Let me see. You make about, at least what mine are saying, is that you make $10.71 for every 1,000 views. And I'm sure that takes into consideration like super chats and stuff like that, So I don't even... Shorts, you make 10 cents for every 1,000 views.
I despise making shorts. Ugh.
So
Shorts are
live
a completely
streams,
different revenue.
live streams, you make $13.60 for every 1,000 views. So live streams, if they're monetized and people watch them after the fact, and I don't know if that takes into, like I said, I don't know if it takes into consideration super chats and all that stuff or not. I just
Probably not.
Like that. Give you an example. That video I did when I had my teeth removed and I had the gauze in my mouth and they dropped off the uncapper, right? That's saying estimated earnings for that video was $14. So I don't know.
Yeah, I wish I had a big channel. I wish it would pay for the bees. But yeah, I'm not holding my breath on that.
So that's why I just like hanging out with you guys. It doesn't matter. Yeah, don't get it twisted. With Cayman gets affiliate link income. He's got Well, if you haven't watched one of his live streams, he definitely gets super chats, tons of them. So he gets that. What else? He also is, similar to me. I mean, actually, when I say similar to me, he sells stuff too, right? So he sells queens and nukes and stuff like that. So he sells that out. So, but it is what it is. I mean, nobody's hating on anybody. It's just unless you've got that level of people that watch you consistently and super chat, stuff like that. Hey, Dan.
I mean, who would hate on that guy? He's kind of an inspiration with all he's done.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he does good. I like Cayman. I liked it. I've noticed over the years that he started out, it was pretty much like everybody else, all beekeeping videos, right? Boom, boom, boom. And then he went to live streams and Hive Life. And now he's starting to get a little bit back to some beekeeping videos. So I like that. I like the beekeeping video part of it because I can watch it all the time. But it's just like you guys hanging out with us. Let me see. Which type of buckwheat is best for the bees? I have a 2-acre plot. It got to put erosion control on. Might as well make use of it. So I don't know. The one that I bought it said it was good for bees. Which one do you recommend, Spanky? You're the grower.
I have yet to hear one that they say don't give to the bees, so it's whatever you can get in bulk. The main thing is your preference. Do you want dark honey, or are you going to try to find a variety that they claim gives you lighter honey?
I don't know what color honey comes up from the one that I got.
It's either going to be black as oil or slightly lighter.
Yeah, so if you've never seen buckwheat honey, I've got some. Let me go grab it.
Bob vanished. Oh no. Yeah, it's pretty dark, almost black. Molasses. I'd say some.
This one started to crystallize a bit.
Almost black.
The crystallization is lighter than the honey is. So my normal honey and buckwheat honey. You can't even see through this stuff. Oh, I can't do it. I was going to try to hold it up to the light, but yeah, you can't even see through this.
No, that's way too dark.
And matter of fact, when you tilt it, the glass is, I mean, that's the glass. You see how it's like not stained, but it's like still thick. It's like 90 weight, 80 weight. What type? I don't know. The ones I bought are supposed to be good for
I mean, it's probably all good for bees. It's just the color of the nectar that's going to change. It's going to be either black as oil or, like I said, dark amber.
And all right, I think I got that one already. Yeah, it's I think my honey will be darker, but I don't have enough buckwheat planted to like make it too dark. Spanky, I want the one that makes more honey. What's the name?
I don't know of anyone specifically that makes more honey. The Koto is supposedly reported to do lighter honey, but most of the time it's down to what you can get for the cheapest amount of money. Also, DC claims that mustard, they can get nectar off of mustard as well. But I don't know
You know,
what
they
the
can. I looked it up. You can get honey from mustard, and
I
apparently
don't know
it's
what
pretty
the
good.
comparison is.
When it gets up about 4 inches, throw some 10-10-10 fertilizer on it. Thinly and
I've
water.
got some out there blooming from the rain.
Yeah, he's from the UK, but he lives in France. Oh, here he comes. Acts like he was getting honey or something tonight. What the heck?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm still working at it.
How much did you spin out tonight?
Oh, about 100 pounds, I guess. 2
How
buckets.
How many supers was it?
4 or 5. 4.5 or 4.5 supers. Total amount of honey I've gotten so far is 273 pounds. But that's out of, I think, 12 supers, which is not that great. Some of them won't even, fill some of the frames.
Right. I'll have
But
to. I've been doing my spreadsheet every time I pull to kind of keep up with how much I'm bottling and how much I'm pulling, and then I'm trying to figure out, based on the number of frames that I pull, what the average weight per frame is. So next year I can say, oh well, each box should weigh about 25 pounds of honey or something like that. Whatever it ends up being.
right.
Kind of figure it out. I was extracting
Like 23 pounds to a box, which I was expecting more like 30. But I mean, there were some frames where the bees draw it out and they capped like a rainbow across the top and down on the sides. And right in the middle where like there would be like a brood pattern would be, no honey at all. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's between queen problems I had and maybe because it's so dry. I don't know. While it was making honey, there was a dry spell. Usually having no rain is good because it doesn't knock all the honey off or the blossoms and stuff. But it's like Alex said, he had that good rain prior to the bloom popping. So the moisture's in the ground and then it's more production.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how insane it's going to be this year.
Well, don't get your hopes up too big.
Yeah, but it's been good so far, so fingers crossed. Like I got myself 20, I don't know, 10 so far, but I'm gonna get another 15 5-gallon buckets. That's like I'm basing that on what I got last year. If it's too much, it's too many buckets. Fine, I'll just use them next year. But I'm part of me is afraid that 25 is not enough.
Yeah, Ziggy, he's spinning. Yeah, I've been spinning since Monday. I pulled, like I say, about 12 boxes of honey. There was an extra 3 boxes there that I had put on right at the end of the flow. They looked like they were going to want to draw some wax, but they didn't. But there was like I grouped the boxes where some of them, they weren't capped and they were kind of on the lighter side as far as weight. And I did test them. That was something I noticed tonight. I actually had honey that was coming out of the extractor cloudy. And I'm like, huh?
You saw the picture of my honey on the truck, right? How the honey that I extracted the first time was cloudy. The second round was not cloudy. Let me see if I can show a picture and see if this is what you got. Oh, hold on, I gotta.
There were some people on Facebook. It showed the same stuff. It was coming out like milky look, Some people thought they were, the basket was whipping air into it and that kind of stuff. The only thing I can think of is if the humidity, we've had no humidity, very dry, and I think it looks like it's starting to crystallize.
Did you test
A
it on a
little bit.
refractometer?
Yeah, I tested that. I had
Low.
my first batch that were those ones that were open, 14.5%, which is like way low. Usually it's 16, 17 for me. If it's 17 and a half, it's great. 17 is great. 16 and a half. Now the last been tonight was like 16%. So I mean, it's not real dry, but I don't know, just
Drier than
odd.
normal.
Yeah, it's much drier than normal. Usually it's like 16 and a half to 17%.
So
But
look,
then also maybe, usually,
you see the
yeah,
middle jars?
yeah, I've seen that, but I've seen them on Facebook where it's like looks like creamed honey. It's like it looks like honey that's about half crystallized. And the only thing that I can think of is that it's just so dry.
Let's stick your bucket of it into the decrystallizer and see if it does anything.
That's how the bees were coming out of the
Were you able to get that hive out there?
Nope. It's only a 6-second video. I forced a lot of bees out and I rescued as many as I could, but the hotel didn't want to break that open. So they got sealed in, unfortunately. But I mean, if they don't want to pay to get it fixed, there's not much you can do.
I think some places that's illegal to do for two bees. I think that's the case here. I'm not sure.
Well, again, we don't have any bee police, right? And the cops aren't going to come and arrest nobody for for killing them.
Yeah.
Is Ziggy asking me a question about bottling?
Let me see.
Shane?
Do you let your honey sit for a couple of days before bottling?
It sits in the bucket until I need it, and then I put it in my bottling tank. And then it sits in there for however long. I bottle as I need it, whatever sells. I don't bottle everything up.
So maybe it'll clear up then.
Yeah, I mean, it did. I watched it in the bucket, and it just kind of chilled out.
Air comes to the top.
I think it might have had some air in it somehow for some reason. I looked at it like when it was only about that much in the bottom, and you could see the air bubbles.
Hey, Fox Plus.
Have you tried warming it up? See if the bubbles rise.
Hey, Fox Boss, thanks for helping me out there.
I need him to drop me a couple hundred subs and push me over 2,500. I can't get over 2490. It just damn goes 2490, 2486, 2490, 2488. So
well,
it could be peroxide, like Michael said.
What I was going to ask you. Shoot, I was listening to you guys while I was trying to clean up some. I still got to clean up some, but no, I can forgot on what I was going to talk about. All right, it'll come back to me.
Yeah, I wonder if it is peroxide. If it was coming out super dry and it's high humidity from the rain.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
What I was thinking is usually here it's hot. It's 80 some degrees, 85, 90 degrees. I'm talking about the actual air in the house and whatever. and it's in the 60s, I think, right now, 70s. Well,
69.
right now it's 58 degrees.
58?
It's raining. And it's been showering on and off all day. Then it started from about lunchtime on, it started, basically raining continuously. And like you say, it's going to rain for the next 4 or 5 days. And I'm wondering whether, how they all have those hot rooms and stuff like that, which makes a huge difference.
Right.
And then there was a guy that when I first started out, he took, I'm going to say like some 2-inch insulation styrofoam boards. And all he did was make a box around his honey supers in his garage, put a heat lamp in there and heated that confined space. So it got his honey supers hot so they would, be more liquefied.
He did it before they we got 1,435 viewers right now. What the heck?
That's pretty amazing.
1,435. That's like everybody, wherever you're at, the whole country is watching us stream like right now, talking about honey and heating it up.
It was all your submarine talk.
All the submarine talk about the Titanic. Got it done. They
haven't found anything yet, have they?
No, last I heard, the Canadian airplane heard they could hear some banging, and it wasn't like constant banging. They would bang, and then like 15, 20 minutes later, they would bang again, like on a time schedule. So that's crazy. 1,488 viewers. We got more than Cayman now, by goodness.
In fact, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, everybody that's watching, please subscribe. I need the viewers. I need to push it over 2,500.
I could use 1,000.
That's awesome. I just looked up and I was like, oh my goodness, 1,441.
Oh no, please, everyone, hit the like button.
Yeah, everybody smash that like button.
So did
We've got
the
33 right now.
So did the stream team go tonight or not?
No, they didn't. And then Bruce went on with Cayman.
And then I seen where Brian went on.
Did Brian go on?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see where Brian went on. I saw it was supposed to be on Brian's channel. Then he canceled or said it would be delayed a week. Honeybee Compound wants to know if Charlie's putting supers back on it to clean it out.
No.
You spin them dry and then put them up?
I put them out, let the bees lick them clean, and then I put them in the freezer.
Can't believe we've only got 40 likes. 1,400 people were watching.
I can't like it more than once. Sorry.
It's all your fault.
Stop blaming me.
I liked it one time myself, so don't feel bad. So out of those 40, me and you are 2 of them.
Every vote counts.
That's right. Every like counts. Someone, Papa's Honey Acres did a Hive Lift 3.0 video, part 2 months ago.
I guess that's for next week is what he's posted. Castle Hives.
Lee. Lee's like, can you hit that one?
What's that?
Channels. Everybody sees Fox Plus. And they're like, can you get me subs? Can you get me likes? Can you get me subs?
I mean, who wouldn't ask?
He pushed Grammy up. I need the view hours. That's right, man. I will, Kodiak. See? There you go. Hook him up. We just need to smash that like button. I don't know what it does to the algorithm, but I appreciate it.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's very
shows you're
good.
making so much money on lives.
That's how I'm. Well, if they all watch the little entrance advertise it, I might have made 3 cents. It's at 1,100 now. It's 300 people have gone. They started going over to Lee's channel now. Same people, right over there.
Oh yeah, it's the ocean raising all tides, you know.
Hey, David, good to see you. Hey, Larry. Came on tonight on an off night. Saw the stream team had postponed. I was like, oh, we can't not have a live 2 nights in a row. So we had to do it.
Got to be late to work tomorrow too.
Nope, that ain't gonna happen. I mean, today was such a pitiful day. Tomorrow's probably gonna be a bad day at work too, because of the rain all day. It's like people are like, oh, we just want to wait till after the rain to get treated for the bugs. So that's let's see, 47 likes. Had 1,400 people watching. We only got 47 likes. Oh well. Yeah, that's what happens to me, Ed. I go backwards. I go there, then I go backwards, and then I go there, and then I go backwards. I gained 1 sub, so I'm down. I'm almost back to 40 or 2490 again. But you know, for watch hours, these live streams are the way to go. If you're trying to build watch hours on your YouTube channel, would you agree, Charlie?
Yeah, that's the way I got the 4,000 watch hours. You have to do a live. I got 9,000 hours now.
And I bet you Tim and Hannah's watch hours went up. And Charlie came in the stream, and then 1,400 people came.
He asked about the sub update.
He came, and they're like, Charlie's here. We got to go. Got to go watch it. We're at 900 right now. So it's yes, thank you, Fox Plus. We appreciate it for sure. Oh, Grammy, Lisa, thank you. I appreciate it. We go live a lot. I know. It's a oh, it looks like I'm over. I went 1 over. 2491, y'all. Tomorrow it'll be 2487 or 2387, then it'll go back up. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, we go live a lot, and I enjoy doing it, but sometimes it's just tiring. You know, sometimes me and Charlie get on the phone and we're like, "You can go live tonight." He's like, I don't know. You know, it's just one of those things to where,
Mark, you're always welcome on my show. I enjoy your videos when we did those here in the past months.
he came on a little while ago, and then his battery died. Now he's got it hooked to the charger. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, a lot of times we talk about a lot of random stuff or whatever you guys bring up, and that's kind of the point of these types of streams, right?
The biggest thing is if you can, for me, and I know Bob, if you can get participation from the audience, I guess you would call it, where they come on, like Spanky and Alex, and there's James and Brad and Phil, and they all have different things they can bring to the chat. You know, they got different topics and subjects, and if they're doing something at their house, you know, which is interesting, and all that's what makes it fun. And I don't know, it for me, I feel like it's, we're this huge family that we can, the possibility of getting to see each other in live at Hive Life is, one of the
It's almost
key
like you
things.
know each other by the time you get to Hive Life, you know?
Yeah. You know, I mean, you and me and a bunch of others went out to dinner that one night. And,
We went out several nights.
yeah, that's right. Several nights.
And
As far as I know, Hive Life tickets haven't gone on sale yet, have they?
not that I'm aware of. Not yet. Lee will be the one to know. Lee will be like, he already bought everybody's tickets. We're ready to go. He's already got the hotel ready.
He's the Hive Life scalper.
The Hive Life scalper.
Yeah, he's got Alex's air flight tickets for him.
That's one of the main reasons I can't really go. It's the price of like the air, the
Bro, when I was your age, I was road tripping. Thanks, Philip.
yeah, but the car I
thumb
have
out
is
there.
20 years old. I'm 21 now, so I don't want to risk.
But it's cheaper to rent a car than it is to buy a plane ticket. You can get a weekly rate.
The gas cost to go all the way to Seaverville will cost me more than a plane ticket.
No, not once you get to the States. Gas is only expensive in Canada. Once you get to the States, it's cheaper.
How much is it a liter or a gallon up there?
I don't know per gallon, but per liter it's 162 right now, Canadian dollars.
And how many liters are in a gallon? 4 liters to a gallon?
Yeah, about 4 liters to a gallon. So let's say 1.5 times 4, that's $6. About $6.50 a gallon.
Yeah, see, we're only at $3. It's like you could go twice as far in the States as you could in Canada. The same amount of money. You guys don't have cheap airlines in Canada like we do down here, Spirit and, stuff like that. Phil says he's still banned from Canada for 2 more years. OSHA approved ladder. I took my ladder tonight. So I unfolded it 17 foot and made it perfect.
Yeah, I already told Bob about that ladder.
A liter is almost the same as a quarter.
Quart.
A quart. Oh, with an E. Sorry. I thought it was a quarter without an R, and yours is a quart with an extra E. Got it. Oh, he's afraid to watch. Oh, okay. Well, not for nothing, but I got plastic on the side, and it had a rubber foot on the ladder, and it was leaned up against the brick. Sometimes you just got to live life on the edge. Like,
you go fall off the edge one of these days.
Like, taking a makeshift submarine down to look at the Titanic, something like that. And pay $250,000 to do it.
$250,000 to kill yourself.
One guy paid $500,000 because he took his son with him.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I can take you down to the bottom of what's the bay near you, Charlie?
Chesapeake Bay.
I'll take you down to the bottom of Chesapeake Bay for $2,500 right here. It's about the same as what they went down in. How much will your time stuck at an airport cost you, Alex? I don't know how much it costs to go.
Turn your mic on, Alex.
It's a 16-hour drive, I think, from here to Seaverville, 16 or 17.
Oh, so yeah. Days. You can't say much because old Brian there drove from Seaverville back to Colorado. He was rolling with a load of bee supplies.
And then James came down and went to it.
He flew.
How about James? How many miles did he travel?
He missed the mark. He had to go back up.
Yeah, he flew though. So that's still
No,
a
but he
long
went from his house over to Brad's for them 40 hives.
They're
That's what,
talking about
18 hours.
I think they're talking about driving down to Hive Life next year.
Mm.
There you go. You need to join up with him.
It's almost worth flying up there to ride back down with them, because if it's James, Brad, and Ian all in the same vehicle
I
traveling,
would pay to go with them.
that would be crazy.
Hit them up. It's got to be a lot less to drive to a meeting point to meet up with them than to come all the way down.
He's
from here
way east.
to Miami, that's almost 24 hours driving.
He'd be
but they're coming down to the same location you're wanting to go to. So surely you can meet somewhere.
We're coming from two different directions.
He's on the East Coast and they're on the West Coast.
They're in the Midwest. Ian and them are out there between North Dakota and Michigan, I think it is.
Yeah, I'm above New York. I'm north of New York. To give you
well, heck, you can just jump right over there into the Champlain Valley there and right down through there. You're right there above. What's his name's place?
Michael Palmer. I'm 2 hours, less than 2 hours from Michael Palmer.
2 hours? Shoot, 2 hours, you're across the border. Gas prices are half price.
You might be able to drive down to New York and catch a ride with Steve from Daisy's Honey.
Oh, there you go. That's an idea.
Darren's done said meet him in PA, Alex.
Or meet Darren in PA. Road trip.
PA, Pennsylvania, is that it?
Pennsylvania. Yeah. Okay.
We're going to get you there. You will be there one way or another. You're going to find a way.
Dan's driving from upstate New York.
The Bee Whisperer's close to you. What about the University of Guelph guys? They come down. They came down last year. Aren't they close to you?
Yes, they're like 6 hours from me.
They drove. Oh, they're 6 hours west of you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Guelph is near Toronto.
Let's see.
I know one thing. James sure must have a lot of energy in him, because, I mean, he driving straight through and only sleep for a couple hours. I couldn't do that.
And then get home on a Sunday and get up and go back to work the next day.
Yeah.
You're being volunteered, Charlie, in the chat. You're going to be the driver.
And then we'll meet Charlie in Baltimore and he'll drive.
I don't think somebody else won't like that.
Lee drove 13 hours.
Huh?
Lee drove 13 hours. It's only 4.5. It was like 4.5 hours, 4 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. For me
about,
to get there.
It's about 8 hours for me, I think. Something like that.
The furthest I've traveled by car is the city of Amos. It's about a 6-hour drive from where I live. It's way north of here. It's a tiny, tiny city. My family from my father's side is from that city.
I'll even take a French lesson.
Let me tell you something about French.
Yeah, I met a truck driver over the weekend.
About like 11 years old. I'd say French is needlessly complicated. It's ridiculous.
I met this girl, and she's a truck driver. She comes up there to those different towns. What's your main town up there? Ottawa is
Quebec.
Here, where I live, Montreal is the nearest big city. Then there's Quebec.
She goes to Montreal, and then she goes to some other town. One is Montreal, sort of like a little more friendlier as far as English goes.
Yeah, it's kind of bilingual. Not
That's
as
the
much
one where
as
they like to play football and all the American sports.
What? Sorry, I didn't
They
get
follow all the American sports,
Well,
football,
let me tell you
baseball.
something. Hockey and basketball were invented in Canada.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Basketball was not invented in Canada.
Look it up.
I sure will. They say it was invented by some people that were throwing into a peach basket. All right, let's Google it. Where was
I mean, there's always the possibility that like what I heard was wrong, but
it?
look it up.
All right. History of basketball. Springfield College. Okay, where's it at? Springfield, Massachusetts. By Naismith, Dr. James Naismith. He was a graduate student there in 1891. We'll give you hockey, but you can't have basketball.
I think she also she was truck driving up to Quebec City. And I asked her, I said, she don't know how to read French. She said, you have to kind of figure out, what north and south and east and west is.
Sorry, I confused basketball with football. Football was invented in Canada.
American football? What they
Yes.
consider American football?
Yes.
I could see that.
Mm.
Sorry, Charlie, what were you saying?
She traveled up to what's it called? Quebec
City?
City, I think. Anyway, she hauls glass for some kind of a glass plant here, and then there's some kind of a glass manufacturer up in one of your cities up there. One of them is where it was really. I said, "How do you travel on the interstates and stuff up there?" And she's, "Well, you kind of have to read." She took some Latin and sort of kind of broke the language down that way somewhat. But she said there was this quaint crane operator, and he was, of course, all French, could not speak English, and he had enough, I guess, a little bit enough to you speak French. And she says, no, no, and all she could do was say she could sing Frere Jacques for that little song, Frere Jacques, and all that, and and she's cute. And so he gets off the crane and goes to ask somebody and comes back and he says, your eyes are like stars in the night, and, gave her all this here, that good looking and all that type of stuff, But anyway, they got the load off and stuff like that. But she was interesting where they had a sign up there, and I guess it had like, the possibility of wind blowing, in that area, let's say crossing a bridge or something. And then here's this old man winter picture with him blowing, like out of some kind of a fable type of thing. And he said you guys have a lot of pictures with your signs and stuff up there. I guess road signs of some sort. It's interesting.
We got 2,130 viewers right now. All of you, please subscribe and like.
Hit the like button. Bob needs it.
We need it. It'll push us over.
Like the like button.
That's Fox Plus called all of his friends, and we appreciate every one of you. And we do a beekeeping chat weekly, sometimes nightly, just depends. But every week, usually, we're definitely here.
You got to keep this going, Fox Plus. He's got to be late for work tomorrow.
You got to be late again tomorrow. How many likes do we have, though? That's the question. I've only gained 2 subs.
I see 148.
148 likes out of 2,235 viewers. We need more. Smash it, please. But so you're done, Charlie. You're just throwing in the towel, saying honey's over. You're done, and that's it.
It is for me. All the plants have bloomed, except for maybe what do you call it? goldenrod, but for us around here, we don't get a nectar source out of goldenrod. It's more of a pollen source.
So
You might get some, but you're not going to get a crop out of it.
So you are definitely waiting on the spotted lanternflies to come back.
Yeah.
Could you
That'll be in
plant
August.
some flowers?
No, it's
I mean,
not.
there's got to be flowers that bloom.
See,
like,
buckwheat on that field behind you would be beautiful.
I've done said that.
Nah, no, thank you.
And then you can just till it under. And then, hey, how much is that hay worth? Buckwheat hay for the
Well,
cow.
there's no hay to it; it's straw.
yeah, you could
You
feed
know,
some of those-
I would rather have crimson clover back there or something like that, like Mark
Japanese
Miller had.
knotweed. Do you have knotweed?
I don't even know what knotweed looks like.
Well, you can get
It's just like you
have.
have privet. Well, there's supposed to be privet around here, but it's not in my area. And like you say, you have formosa trees. It sounds like to me formosa trees are like everywhere down there.
Mimosa.
Here, there was a
Mimosa.
formosa tree where my grandmother planted it, 50 years ago, and we cut the dumb thing down, finally rotted, and that was, that was the end. Bamboo, I don't want no parts of no damn bamboo.
That's the only reason I'm still here.
That is the most evasive. That is the most evasive stuff out of anything they want to talk about. That's the terrible stuff.
I don't know about that. Kudzu.
Kudzu is just as bad too. We do have kudzu, but not around here, luckily. No.
See, when you guys get a bunch of viewers in there, you guys get a lot of subs. See, I got all these viewers, but I don't get a bunch of subs out of it.
Well, I asked Fox Plus to do subs for me, and he helped me out there. Looks like bamboo. Okay, no, we don't have that stuff. There are some bamboo. I don't know whether it's knotweed or not, but luckily it ain't close to me. There's some bamboo. You'll see it alongside the road some stupid person planted.
I can send you some, Charlie. I can send you some bamboo.
Because it makes tons of nectar. Bees love it. Japanese knotweed. You're going to make me look it up.
I'll get you some clover seed, Charlie.
Well, we have, if you're planting clover in a hayfield, you're planting the red bald clover, which is, bumblebees like it, but a honeybee can't get the proboscis down in there deep enough.
Now, Charlie, are you harvesting hay right there around your colonies?
See that big green field behind me there?
I'm not talking about that field behind you. I'm talking about around them colonies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you drive
where these colonies are right behind me. That field behind me there, above there, is all hayfield, and in front of these colonies, about 20 feet, is a huge field. I think we did 1,300 square bales off the field around the beehives. I don't have any basswood, Bruce.
You ought to see about getting you some of that anise hyssop, something like that then.
What is it?
Anise hyssop.
I never heard of that.
It grows real big. The pollinators love it. But it doesn't, it's not like buckwheat or...
Well, see, buckwheat is not a grass plant. It is a grain plant.
Yeah, it's a cereal.
That's where your buckwheat flour comes from. It's like wheat and barley and oats. It's that part of, and when it matures, the stalk is a straw stalk, and that's what they use for horse bedding or something like that. But around here, as far as if you're growing grain, wheat would be wheat and barley and oats, but wheat would probably be the most profitable. And that's what we used to use for a rotational crop. And, but my son, who's taken the farm over, he's, as he calls it, he's a grass farmer. So we raise hay and do round bales and square bales and all that. And we sell them to the horse people. And that's what I did and my father did it. I did it. Now my son's taken over. and all that. And then behind me there on that ridge, there's another, 40 acres behind there where we rent that. We were renting it out. And then this year it's my son's taking it back over. It's going to take a while to rotate the crops around to build the soil back up. And it's been corn and bean for 10 years or 15 years, I guess.
Oh, you need to get some buckwheat on that or mustard.
I don't know. Mustard, to me, that sounds like a weed to me.
Well, mustard's a nitrogen fixer. It's actually pretty good at putting nitrogen back into the soil. And as long as you do what you're supposed to do, which is cut it off before it flowers, during that peak,
Right.
you don't let it go seed to get all that nitrogen back into your dirt. It's not going to be a pest.
But if you cut it off before it flowers, then it has no benefit for the honeybee.
Well, they're making money grass farming.
Right.
No, you got to sell to the horse girls. If you do alfalfa, but alfalfa is a pain. You got to cut it every 28 days. You want it to bloom to a certain point, and then you cut it. And a lot of times you got to spray it. And it comes in real early and goes out real late. And those when you can't get it dry unless it was designed for dairy cattle, not for
Horses?
not for for horses.
But you need to get something, put some nitrogen back into that dirt if they've been doing corn. Although they've probably put so much fertilizer in that ground, it's unreal. To keep the corn going if they ain't been rotating.
Well, they've been rotating with beans and corn, but that needs to be built back up. I don't know what he's going to put in there, but anyway, yeah, I'd like to see him put a cover crop of crimson clover in there. That would be nice. Well, guys, it's about 10:30 for me. I got to do a little bit more here before I go to bed.
Yeah, went about 30 minutes longer than what we were planning to.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, Charlie had to bring us back into beekeeping talk and bring all these people with him.
Well, let's see what's tomorrow night. Thursday night. Yeah. We'll see everybody. See everybody tomorrow night, right?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow brings yet, but I got to go back outside. Forgot tomorrow's trash day, so I got to pull that down to the curb if it doesn't float away.
Well, I got the strainer draining into the bucket with the honey, and I got to blow the garbage out of that and put it in the washer. And I got everything else.
That anise hyssop, it grows clumps. So it don't run. Supposedly it doesn't run. It makes a clump, and the clump will grow, and you can take and remove from the clump and go put it somewhere else to make a second clump.
Good night, Gary.
But the bees love it.
You know what I got to say? Spanky, you have really opened up as compared to a while back. You'd come on, you would basically not say nothing, and you've kind of found your groove, and now you're talking. That's a good thing. I like that. And Mark Miller looks like he's trying to pop back in, but I don't see any camera on there. But
well, like I say, no, for me, my honey season's April, May, and June. It used to be up to 1st of July, but it seems like anymore in the last several years that the honey season's getting shorter and shorter.
How about the like near the forest's edge? You could plant there. Well, there's trees in the background on the image. Like you could plant near the trees some flowers.
Me or where?
now we got two marks trying to come in, neither one of them with the image.
He's talking to you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Your picture behind you.
Yeah, the trees behind me. There's a road over there, highway, and along that is locust. That's where my locust trees are. That's where I get the locust honey from. And then at a different angle, there's another forest across the road that's got poplar trees in it.
But
And
could
then
you
there's
plant some flowers near those trees? It
mm,
looks like it's outside your field.
could I
Like
mean
Ian does, like in these, like in the pieces of field he doesn't use, he just broadcasts seeds.
oh okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the bogs or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have any bogs. I mean, we're pretty much. I tried to put some what do you call it? It's a plant. It grows mountain mint. I got mountain mint growing on a bank next to the road on my property. That it flowers later in the season. The the purpose is to give the honeybees some food coming in when it's the dearth and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, I'm out. I got to clean up and get going, and hope. Well,
good night, Charlie.
I'll probably see you if you're on tomorrow night. I'll probably be on because I don't have to do any extracting. So we'll catch you later. See you, Spanky, Alex.
See you.
Let's see. All right, good night. Let's see. I want to say one thing here.
Happy birthday, Blaine.
No, I already said that. I'm looking for where's it at? You guys know in a second.
One.
As soon as I find it on what I'm looking for. Where's it at? It's supposed to be here. Maybe it's. Oh, I spelled it wrong. All right, so let me copy this and paste it here. There you go. Had to use the old Google Translate. I believe Fox Plus is in the Philippines. I think. If not, I'm not sure where they're from. But I wanted to say thank you. And anyway, so now Mark's there. Hold on. Mark, he's froze.
Oh, we done missed Charlie.
He froze up anyway. He's having a problem. So, anyway, guys, we're going to call it an evening. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Thanks for all the super chats. Good night.
Good night.